This would be, I think it's part 3 of the lt230. I guess soon to be 250 here soon, I guess. I got one of the new hubs, kind of just hooked to the top ball joint, and it's sitting above the lower one, which won't fit in it right now. But you kind of get an idea of how much width that's going to add. The other side's still stock. Part of the extra width that's going to be gaining is actually the wheels. This is the front side, which has a lot of depth to it, and then the back's kind of shallow. So there's a lot of offset going on there. And then the brakes, which I mentioned in another video on an adapter plate to fit a Chinese brake caliper to a 300EX. And I mentioned in the video that the brake calipers are the same from an lt230 and also a Polaris Phoenix as the Chinese brake calipers. Well, they are the same, which those Chinese calipers bolt right up to these hubs, but what I found is the bolt pattern is different in this plate. So they are the same brake calipers, but in almost in every way except for that plate. So what I'll probably have to do is be some more money to put into this. Is I'll probably just buy a set of Chinese brake calipers, mainly to gain this plate, but I'll just probably bolt the whole caliper up, and then these will just be, later on I can use this caliper on those plates. I currently use these calipers on all of my bikes. I'm doing the front bearings on the pink bike, which is a 300EX chassis. I'm converting it as well over. So investing in another set of calipers won't really hurt. One bike goes down, unfixable or whatever, I can always use those calipers on something else. As far as how this is working out, the upper will bolt right up, and I talked about maybe making new arms for the bottom. I found out, I was checking this out, this ball joint is replaceable. You just take a nut off the back side and it slides out. So I could probably get some ball joints that'll fit this, and then they're kind of all threaded to be able to set them, a different kind in here. And then as far as this arm, I think I might just weld this up and then probably Dynafile it, which a Dynafile is like a handheld belt sander, and smooth it back out to where you can't tell any damage. This arm isn't really bent, it's just caved in a little bit right here. The other arm needs replaced. I'll have to see about eBay on that. Replace that arm altogether and then replace the ball joint. One thing about fabbing out front suspension stuff, which I might actually run into it a little bit with changing into these hubs, is a bump steer. Which bump steer is if your suspension system isn't set up properly, it'll, whenever the suspension travels, say you push down the front of the bike, the tires will toe in and out, or throw off the tire won't stay straight whenever the suspension travels. So when you hit a bump, it tends to want to steer it away, in a direction you don't really want to go. So to minimize that, and after finding out the ball joint can be changed, I think I might try to use lower stocks, just replace the one, and then let's see if I can get this off here with one arm. The upper joints on the arms are pretty good shape. They don't really have any play in them. The ball joint seems to be pretty good. Now the lower, you can see there, plus my camera shaking. But in these new bushings, may be able to like make some, or buy ones that fit in it, something of that nature. I usually just make polyurethane ones and leave. A lot of times there's like a little bearing in the middle. A lot of times you can just leave that in there and just pop the seals out of the ends, make little bushings that fits in the ends, and it sturdies it up. And then once the polyurethane ones wear out, it'll just kind of revert back to using what was already in there. So I guess that's probably about all the details I got on this right now. It's not a whole lot, but I guess if I'm going to show like, you know, detailed changes I'm going to do on this. Short little details, maybe the best ones. Alright, thanks for watching.